Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam. A lighthearted look at the weekend jam bands.
where we break down the jam scene's biggest stories,
Talk new bands,
upcoming tours,
and show reviews. A little laughing, some hot takes, and an always positive message for the community.
UMBowl Primer.
So let's look at the time frame for Humphreys that they had this VIP experience, right? So for listeners, my name's Wade. Humphreys kids will know me. I worked for Humphreys. I started freelancing in '05, went on the road with them full time, and we were always trying to push the envelope as far as technology was concerned. The Wall Street Journal had done a piece on Kevin's, recording straight from the show about Humphreys leading the tech charge in the jam world, and we wanted to keep building on that for not just the clout didn't mean anything to us. It just meant we were on the right track. We wanted to make a more immersive experience for the fans, which was so S2 was born out of that. Do you know what those are?
No, I do not.
Okay, so S2 was if you paid for a VIP, right? It was, let's say we had 3 nights at First Ave. So now one of those nights was going to be the VIP night where we do the S2 show that I also hosted. I was funny. I had a Bob Barker microphone.
Nice.
Like the long silver skinny ones. And the funniest thing is that it was so old, like it would shock you. Like I couldn't, like people would go to grab it out of my hand. Fans would go to grab it out of my hand, and I would be like, "No, don't! I can't. We don't. Lawsuits aren't a part of S2. We're not. I'm the only one that's going to get shocked here." So the S2 for the technological thing that went to UMBowl from there is where the fans text in abstract, weird, funny things, and then that's filtered to the front of house engineer, to which he then dithers that down to the band, like Darth Vader in Jamaica.
And they have to play that. They have to play the theme music.
They have to visualize. No, they don't have to. They have to do their best job on the spot to react to that abstract thing from the fans.
Okay.
It's incredible. Like their musicianship is just on. It was essentially a test for themselves as well, because they were like, and these first few S2s, I mean, it's like, wow, we really got something here. This is really cool, this texting in thing. So as these S2s are going on, I am almost certain that the idea of UMBowl as it is came from Kevin Browning. Well, what if S2? What if it was a whole event, and what if it was 4 quarters? And if you've ever spent time with creatives, actually, this is when the best stuff happens. We weren't partying, it was an overnight bus trip, but it wasn't a party night by any means. And we were very excited about this idea. So it was the crew and we had 2 or 3 of the band guys. And we sat in the front lounge of the bus and we started hashing this out. And 90% of what UMBowl is today happened in that front lounge on that trip, born out of the S2s. And that Choose Your Own Adventure was my contribution to the UMBowl quarters, where, okay, you guys get to pick where we start, but then once you get to the jam, then we give the audience 4 choices, like those old books we used to read,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We talked about that on Wook Plus, trying to do a Choose Your Own Wook Plus episode.
Well, I mean, it's fun. It's to put, and that's essentially what we're doing with, anything that you can fan source, anything that you can put your fan base, your user in the driver's seat. They appreciate that. You know what I mean?
It's all about building community.
It's all about building community. And that's what we're doing with Uber Glue. That's why we refuse to do any polls for Uber Glue. We just want to use the hashtag, because polls look like a competition.
Right.
We want it to be a conversation. And that's exactly what we wanted it to be, this ongoing conversation, and to feel the fans to feel like they were in the driver's seat. And the raw stewage now that's which is fucking insane. They take these all the jams, like famous jams from songs, which they call raw stewage, and they get a like the class of blah 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 raw stewage, and then the fans vote on those which ones will make it, and then Humphreys writes 4 or 5 new songs, pasting 3 or 4 of these old jams together.
I've heard like Silent Type came from a jam. Is that how Silent Type?
That's SIG, yeah. Well, it was called SIG cables. Now I'm gonna, I'm not John McClellan here. I'm not the archivist. I don't have the dates that the SIG. There was many SIG cables. Some came out of Paget's profile. Some came out of, but it was a famous repeated lyrical stew, and that got the radio song treatment. Like, it actually sounds like it should be on the radio. So I'm actually, there were sexier versions than what it ended up being on the album, but as far as making it an accessible rock song that still hold true to the roots of the original Jimmy Stewart, it's really fucking rad. They have about maybe a month, once all the voting is done, to write 4 or 5 new songs out of old jams. You know what I mean? That alone is a Herculean feat for some bands.
I wonder if you look into Bayless's notebook, how many cool lyrics he has just buried in there waiting for the right jam.
I mean, he's got at this point almost 50 to 60 of mine. So if he ever runs out of his own, he's got but yeah, so far my only introduction to Canon is sounds like a Ween song. It's two dips, 1 bump, and a fuckload of pills. That's been my contribution to Canon, but I'll stand by it.
A good Tuesday night.
It's a good Tuesday, a huge credit obviously to Kevin Browning for spearheading this. Like I said, I did contribute the choose your own adventure, but it was a group effort of how we execute this. Is the technology going to respond in real enough time? There was, of course, growing pains with the technology, but the technology quickly caught up, and to keep the experience streamlined without lagging. And Robbie Williams, Bob Stone, Chris Mitchell, Bobby Haight, Matt Heller, just the whole Humphreys Road crew, Louis, Britches. I can go on and on. Matt Heller, congratulations, Matt Heller. He just eloped in Hawaii.
Yeah, nice. Glad he wasn't flying Southwest.
Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about that. That was my Bisco adventure. But like this, the Humphreys, the way that Humphreys operates as an organization, everyone has the room enough to get creative. And on this night, on this bus trip, it was literally lightning in a bottle. And it's been modified and changed and tweaked over the years, you know what I mean, as it was from that original session, but not much. Not much, really. I mean, it's if you are a fan of improvisational music, and even if you don't care for Humphreys, just to witness them react to something like Prince does Ecstasy with Glenn Danzig in real time.
I love that.
and they have to pivot from like soaring church jam.
Right.
And now they've got 30 seconds to look up to react to Prince does Ecstasy with Glenn Danzig. And you're like, okay, I think who's taking the ball on this one?
The ecstasy and the glory you can connect.
Yeah, like right, absolutely. So it's UMBowl is I'm so happy it carries on, and some truly beautiful pieces of music have come from it, from the raw stewage sessions. When I saw your tweet, I was like, this is a phone conversation. This is too much. This is too much to type, and it's cool. It's nice to be on all that jam. This is great. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this, make sure to head over to www.allthatjampod.com, sign up for our email list. Also find us on social media at allthatjampod on Twitter and Instagram. And head on over to Spotify and Apple. Make sure you give us 5 stars, leave a review, like, and follow. It means a lot. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for listening.